All right, and welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here, Eric Rodriguez, every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time on the GSMC Sports Network. We talk about the greatest thing in the world, professional wrestling. We talk about all the action inside and outside of the ring, backstage curtain calls, rumors, dramas, and updates. We talk about contract negotiations, extensions, new signings. We talk about WWE to TNA, to AEW. If it makes major news in the world of professional wrestling, make sure you like and follow this show so you get notifications when we go live. All right, guys, just kind of recap what we talked about. We had our WWE Monday Night Raw sneak peek, and then we talked about some WWE Saturday Night's main event. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into some TNA Final Resolution talk. Overall, watch highlights, pretty badass. You can definitely, right now TNA Plus is, you can get it for free, a month free. So make sure you definitely take advantage of that. But Final Resolution, it wasn't too bad. Atlanta, Georgia. We saw JDC defeat Leon Slater, which was kind of a surprise to me. I thought Leon Slater was kind of on the up and up. JDC obviously still trying to, get into the good graces of the system of Moose and, Mike and stuff like that. But Leon Slater should be the X Division champion. But that's just my opinion. Obviously, maybe he's still young. Maybe he's at that kind of Javon Evans kind of ish stage that WWE NXT kind of has him on. But, he's impressive. He's impressive. Honestly, his style of wrestling, that's what the X Division really does need. Not necessarily, a big buff guy who can, destroy anybody, But, no, Moose is cool. He's all right, but I don't think he should be in the X Division. Frankie Kazarian able to defeat Jonathan Gresham. This was a big win for Frankie. Frankie Kazarian, he's very off and on. Obviously, he's been wrestling in TNA for quite some time. But, I haven't really seen him have a dominant run lately, and obviously he made his way to NXT, and I thought that was going to be a way to kind of jumpstart his career, kind of like what it did for Zachary Wentz and, the Rascals, and, then who was the other person? Joe Hendry becoming an international, sensation with all those views on social media when he came onto WWE soil with that Battle Royal to determine who was going to take on Trick Williams. And, it was cool, but, I think right now the collaboration between NXT and TNA is kind of going to be, I think it's on hold. I think it's on hold right now. Obviously, you've seen the Motor City Machine Guns come to WWE SmackDown and just be amazing. So maybe perhaps we could be seeing some other superstars going to TNA for a swap. Like I said, I would like to see AJ Styles go back. That would be pretty badass to see him, since TNA and NXT. I think that would be pretty cool. But Frankie Kazarian gets back into the dub column with the win. And still your TNA X Division champion Moose, able to defeat Kushida, kind of like a David versus Goliath kind of feel. I wasn't really a huge fan. Like I said, the more and more I complain, the more and more nothing's going to change. Moose should definitely be in the main event picture. I don't think he should be in X Division. The Rascals defeat Jake Something, Hammerstone, and PCO and Sami Callihan, obviously building up some momentum for their tag team, a quest to become the TNA World Tag Team Champions, maybe to kind of take on the Hardys within their upcoming pay-per-view Genesis. Next, we have Trent Seven taking on Ace Austin. This was a good match. It was overall, I thought Trent Seven was going to become, I thought he was going to be victorious. It was kind of cool to see Ace Austin, obviously, Chris Bay being out with a terrible injury. Still, my thoughts and prayers and condolences to him and his family and loved ones during this holiday season. Ace Austin, he was able to kind of put it together, man. He was able to kind of take down Trent Seven. I thought this was going to be a nice win for Seven to kind of solidify his new reign as a heel, as he turned his back on his former tag team partner Speedball Mike Bailey, who is no longer with TNA as of right now. It was a nice spot. It was a decent spot. Couldn't really complain. But it is what it is. Next, we had Jordynne Grace taking on Rosemary. Ended in a no contest. But the match was good. Jordynne Grace she knows how to make others look so better. She knows how to make other wrestlers seem like, make them seem like they're top tier, make them seem like they are in the main event category. Not a lot of superstars, especially with the physique of Jordynne Grace, can kind of make that happen. But she just gets it. She just gets it. One of the best women's wrestlers I've ever laid eyes on. One of the best women's wrestlers in the whole professional wrestling industry. WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, Stardom, New Japan Professional Wrestling, you name it. Jordynne Grace is definitely on that list. Being number one. But the reason why they ended in a no contest was Tessa Blanchard returned and attacked Jordynne Grace, obviously building up some momentum for their feud heading to Genesis, so that should be a good one. Next, we have a fatal four-way match to determine the number one contender for Nic Nemeth's title at Genesis. Joe Hendry, Josh Alexander, Mike Santana, and Steve Macklin all battled it out, but at the end of the day, Joe Hendry was able to become victorious. It was cool. I think it's his time. I think it's his time to become champion. I think so. It would be crazy, but it would open up so much different storylines and bookings if Joe Hendry was the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. I feel like it'd be a match made in heaven. It'd be pretty great. Next, we have Masha Slamovich defending her TNA Knockouts World Championship against Tasha Steelz. Obviously, this match, it made Tasha look good. It did make Tasha look good. It made it seem like she belonged in the TNA Knockouts, category. I definitely liked how it was a Falls Count Anywhere match, but I feel like that favored Masha right there. I feel like that was kind of like a home field turf for her, and Tasha Steelz, as amazing and as gifted as she is as a wrestler, couldn't really hang on. And, you had Masha Slamovich obviously retain her TNA Knockouts World Championship. It would be interesting to kind of find out who's going to challenge her next. And still, TNA World Tag Team Champions, you saw the Hardy Boys in a tables match defeat the System, Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards. Hopefully this will be the end of Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards getting title shots after title shots after title shots. I feel like the TNA World Tag Team titles, they need to change the scenery. And, it's cool that you have an aged, Hardy Boys on there. It's not too bad. There's still, there's still more aerial and there's still more off the wall and willing to take chances than the Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards. I feel like their tag team title run, although it was very impressive, but it seemed a little stale. It seemed like matches were heavily slowed down, but it's it is what it is. Obviously, you play to your advantages. But the Hardy Boys retained their TNA World Tag Team titles tonight or on Friday night. Next, we had the main event. We had the TNA World Champion defend his title against AJ Francis. Nic Nemeth won. We all kind of knew this was going to happen. And not taking anything away from AJ Francis, because he did great. He did great. No, there was nothing from JBL, this pay-per-view, which came to kind of a shock. And you saw Joe Hendry kind of get into the mix at the end of it as well. And a nice little stare down. But I'll definitely expect AJ Francis to kind of be back into that position. But now we have a set match, the main event on Genesis, January 12th. We're going to see Joe Hendry taking on Nic Nemeth for that TNA World Championship. It's going to be great. I can't wait to see, how this will affect each of these guys, because Nic Nemeth is still relatively young in his title run. Recently won it in July Slammiversary, I think it was. When he won. And then Joe Hendry just been waiting patiently to get a shot and become the face of TNA. So, it's all going to be great. Obviously, these two superstars have a tremendous respect for each other. And, it's going to definitely perpetuate inside the ring, and it's going to be awesome. All right, guys, so hey, do not go anywhere. We're going to jump on into our fourth segment. We have WWE NXT preview. So grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite ice cold beverage, and join me here in about 20 seconds. So, hey, do not go anywhere.